Bring God's peace and order to every area of your life: spiritual, mental, physical, financial, emotional, etc. Today, we are walking through chapter 27, but our focus is still the prayer of Jabez from chapter 4. And we're using that prayer as the key to unlock the rest of this incredible book. Understand, it's more than just a list of names. It's a story of God's faithfulness, our spiritual identity, and the power we have when we ask God to bless us indeed and enlarge our coast. God is moving you out. If you would like to share this complete comprehensive study with your community, comment study, and I will send you my full First Chronicles study, Jabez's prayer transcript link for free. All right, enjoy chapter 27.
Week 4, A Heart of Worship and Giving, Chapter 27, Order in the Kingdom. After meticulously organizing the religious life of Israel, David applies the same principles of order and administration to the civil and military life of the nation. This chapter details the structure of the army, the leaders of the 12 tribes, and the king's personal cabinet of counselors. It shows that a kingdom dedicated to God is not chaotic, but well-ordered in all its affairs. A breakdown of the chapter. 1. The military divisions, verses 1 to 15. David organized the army into 12 divisions, with 24,000 men in each. Each division was responsible for serving the king for 1 month out of the year. This created a standing, professional army that was always ready but didn't require every soldier to serve full-time. Many of the commanders listed are from David's mighty men. 2. The leaders of the tribes, verses 16 to 24. Next, the chapter lists the chief ruler or leader for each of the 12 tribes. These men were the civil administrators, responsible for governing the people and representing their tribe before the king. This section notably ends by mentioning that David did not number the men from 20 years old and under, because of God's promise to make Israel as numerous as the stars, a nod back to the sin of the census in chapter 21. 3. The king's cabinet, verses 25 to 34. The chapter concludes by listing the men who managed the king's personal property and served as his closest advisors. This included treasurers over the king's storehouses in the fields and cities, overseers of the agricultural workers, vineyards, and livestock, counselors, scribes, and trusted friends, including Jonathan, David's uncle, and Hushai, the commander-in-chief of the army, Joab. Connecting to our theme, a heart of worship and giving, this chapter might seem purely administrative, but it beautifully connects to our theme. 1. A heart for worship loves order. David's passion for organizing the worship in God's house extended to organizing the nation. He understood that the God of peace and order desires his people to live in a society that is stable, just, and well-run. A well-ordered kingdom provides the peace and stability necessary for worship to flourish. 2. Giving of administrative gifts. This chapter is a tribute to the administrators, the managers, the advisors, and the civil servants. It shows that the gift of organization is a vital way to serve God and his people. Not everyone is a priest or a musician, but the person who manages the king's olive groves is just as important in building the kingdom. 3. Good stewardship on a national scale. David's system for managing the army, the tribes, and his own resources demonstrates excellent stewardship. A heart of worship and giving doesn't just apply to personal tithes, it applies to how a nation manages its resources for the good of all. Reflection. Questions for your group. 1. David's military system required each man to give only 1 month of service per year. How does this model of shared responsibility apply to serving in the church today? 2. This chapter honors the administrators and managers. Who are the people in your church or community who have the gift of administration, and how can you honor them? 3. Why is a well-ordered, stable society important for the spiritual health of its people? Key takeaway for chapter 27. A true heart for God is reflected not only in the organization of worship, but also in the wise and orderly administration of all areas of life.